again this year. Last week, second U.S. number 2 all-time in 3,000 meters indoors. We also got Nikki Hiltz. They've been killing it. U.S. number, oh no, actually, Nikki, you're the American record holder, or at least on a flat track for U.S. 1,000 meter, and you honestly have got all the titles in 2023 for road mile, U.S. 1,500 meters in, U.S. mile indoors, U.S. 1,500 meters outdoors. I feel like you've unlocked the code of championship racing in 2023. Can you kind of talk about how that was for you?
Yeah. Hello? Okay, yeah. No, I mean, it was a great year, and I just kind of started off hot and then kept it going, and this sport is a lot about momentum, and I found it last year, and and then opening up my season a couple weeks ago in Washington, I was like, all right, it's a new year, is it the momentum here? And kind of like the sprinters were saying, it's like you never know, training can be going well, but you don't know like how fit you are until you race, or even training can be going well and you race like shit, you know, it happens sometimes. But it was just really kind of cool to be like, okay, no, 2024, like the momentum's still here, like, and I'm just excited to keep it going.
And I seen your Instagram post talking about vulnerability racing the 2 mile. Things, I kind of just described that for us, how vulnerable it is to be racing that off event at such a big event here at Millrose Games, and somewhere where you raced the Wanamaker Mile a lot. I think you got like 5th, 9th, and like 7th. Is that going to have some advantage being that you raced at Millrose so many times?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely an interesting decision. I wanted to do a 3K at some point this indoor season, but Mike Smith, my coach, was like, let's just do it at Millrose, and I'm excited about it. I think I've never done really well in the mile here, and I think it's just kind of hard to be that sharp this early in the season. Just for me as an athlete, it kind of takes me a while to build that speed endurance, and so I'm really excited, and it's really scary. I'm really nervous for this, but I'm also really excited. Like I think anytime you can step outside your comfort zone, that's when you grow and become a better athlete in person. And so, I'm looking forward to it.
And then we'll come back to you, but Ellie.
In college, and it's just been a really special meet to me ever since then. That was like my first time being at such a high caliber meet, and I remember being so nervous, like so nervous to the point where like I made myself sick the night before. Like I just like couldn't handle it, and then I showed up and I competed and I had a good time, and I've come back like every year that I could since then, and so it's really special, and obviously have had some success here, and just the atmosphere is something I'm really looking forward to. But also coming off of a race last weekend, it just makes me more excited to get back out there this weekend, and I love being in New York City, so I'm excited.
And I low-key feel like you're the same as Christian. You're a competitor. You're a dog. And it definitely comes out at the Millrose Games, especially. You had special races here in the mile. Just what is it about Millrose? What is it about the Armory? Or is it just the fact that you're a dog?
It's definitely the crowd, and just like the fields are always, so stacked, and it's always an opportunity that you need to take to, compete against some of the people that are out there. And that's definitely part of it. And, I just love indoors. I think it's a lot of fun. And so I try not to put a lot of pressure on my indoor season and kind of use it as a stepping stone to, outdoors. And so sometimes I think, taking that pressure off a little bit almost helps.
What would it mean to get that 3rd Millrose title added to your belt?
That would be amazing.
Well, let's go to Nikki before we get out of here. Nikki, we see the cameras. You feel me? Can we talk about that, or is that just?
Yeah. I'm filming a documentary. Well, I'm not filming. I'm starring in.
There you go.
I'm the main character. No, it's they're following me throughout this Olympic year, and whatever happens. But it's kind of just a story about an athlete trying to make their Olympic dream come true, and also navigating what it's like to be an advocate and a non-binary person in a very binary sport. And so, I'm excited. They were with me at USA's last year, so we got some good behind the scenes of that win. And it was kind of a crazy decision to say yes to, but when I thought about it, I was like, like just so much of the sport is to be focused in the zone, and like you kind of want to limit the distractions, and having a giant camera in your face can be kind of distracting at times. But I thought about it and I was like, I think a quote that I try to live by is like, be the person that you needed when you were younger. And I was like, if just one kid watches this documentary and feels a little like less alone or more seen, then like I'll be happy I did it. So yeah.
Honestly, Mike J, I think we have two of the most inspiring people on my side. I think we may probably have two of the fastest people on your side. I'm interested to see what they have to say.
Well, and, you know, guys, people don't throw around the term world record willy-nilly. Nobody takes it just, you know, as, oh, I might go for a world record. But that's been the talk for the last 2 weeks, that Josh Kerr and Yared Nuguse legitimately have shots at setting new world records in their respective events. Josh in the 2 mile and Yared in the mile. And I've got a question as a track fan. Why is that something that you want to do at the Millrose Games? I know you had an amazing race here last year and just missed that world record, but you could be trying, like all these athletes, you could be anywhere this weekend trying to go for a world record in the mile. Why Millrose?
Yeah, so Millrose is really just such an iconic meet and an iconic place to be racing. I feel like, you know, it's as recognizable as like Pikachu is to the Pokemon franchise, to where it's just like...
To some of us, right?
To some of people, yes, of course. But like everything is just so fun and like electrifying in that place, in that armory. Just the whole crowd that was going nuts, like even last year when I was just like trying to get the American record was just so motivating and like so outright and just great to have like right on top of me. And I feel like I've been to like a decent amount of indoor meets and like a lot of them don't really live up to that kind of reputation.
Let's talk a little bit about what you've done this year. You've run 13:02 for 5K, which is kind of out of your comfort zone, but still very fast. What does that do for your confidence, knowing that you can, you know, even race fast at that distance? Now taking it back down a step to the mile. Does that 5K really boost your confidence?
Yeah, I think it definitely did a little bit. I feel like, you know, especially coming to that race with not having, I think, the best mindset I've ever had for a distance race. I feel like usually I'm very excited to go out and like give it everything I have. And the 5K, I don't really ever feel that way that much. But the mile has always been something that's been very special to me. And so I just, you know, having done that in the 5K, it makes me really feel like I'm ready to do something really special in the mile.
Awesome. Josh Kerr, Olympic bronze medalist at 15. You've run 3:48 for the mile. Going to step it up to the 2 mile. Why the 2 mile? What intrigued you to say, yeah, let's take a shot at it?
Yeah, that's a good question. I spend the majority of the fall and the winter doing higher distance, higher mileage and things like that, and so starting all the way down at a mile always seems like a little bit too much of a jump. But I always want to come and compete at Millrose. I've ran the mile here probably 3 or 4 times. Haven't quite got the win yet there. But we stepped it up to the 3K last year and I was able to get a win. So yeah, I was like, I think we can replicate something pretty similar, and it means we can have a similar setup for the year and hopefully end in a similar way for myself. So yeah, we're just kind of following that pattern again, really.
So 2024 is a big year for both of you. Just for everybody, so what are the next steps for you after Millrose? Have you got a plan laid out leading up to 5 months down the road?
Yeah, I think with the racing schedule, it's very fluid. You know, it kind of comes with how the training's going. You can't really fight how the training's going too much, but for me, yeah, definitely I've signed up for some races that are going to be real competitive, and that's what gets me excited. And same way that we call a shot with some of these records, it keeps us honest in training and motivates us through maybe some harder days through the winter and through the early season. So yeah, I have a pretty similar setup I think this year than I did last year, but I just enjoy competing against great fields, and that's what Millrose brings every year.
Awesome. Yared, how about you?
Yeah, so for indoor season, I feel like it's all just going to be USA's coming up in like basically a week, and then hopefully Worlds after that if things go well there. Then just getting a long training block in before getting ready for outdoors. You know, indoors isn't as important as outdoors, as we all know, but it's still something that I really want to come out and give my all, and I feel like always has a really kind of fun, different atmosphere to it. So I'm excited to see what I can do and just keep it up.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being up here. Thank you for being at Millrose. Ladies and gentlemen, we had the 12 of the world's very best with us here this morning. We get to see them in uniform doing their thing on Sunday at the Armory. Thank you all once again.